holy shit. Like, holy fucking shit. Who the hell expected this? Like, Jesus. This is what you do after a 2-week hiatus? You just go for it? There are children who are never sleeping again thanks to you, Digimon. Like, man, and right when everyone was starting to saying that this show was getting way too filler heavy. Now, granted, we don't know how and when this will play into the overall plot of the show, but fuck, they really kicked off 2022 with a bang. Jesus. So, we should get into this, shouldn't we? So, this week's episode opens with everybody's favorite blue one memory to Digivolve Digimon, Gorillamon, shifting through garbage, finding an orange, eating the orange, but clearly not, because you can clearly tell the orange is not getting smaller as he eats it, when all of a sudden, a red dot hits his head. And he is fucking murdered! Not blasted away or any number of goofy, like, Digimon kids action sci-fi cliches. No! He takes a knife to the fucking forehead! Like, right between the eyes! You die, Gorillamon! Join King Kong! Christ! Like, man! Like, seriously, that was just fucking nuts. And, like, they just show it you sitting in their heads. This isn't it, it's off screen. All the deaths happen in front of you. Now, clearly, the way they get around censorship is that there's no blood. For those of you who don't know, you can get away with a lot with no blood. If any of you have ever seen Die Hard 4 or The Wolverine or even some of the scenes in that RoboCop reboot they did a couple years ago, there's a lot you can get away with just by not showing blood. And we often see in anime, sometimes if you just change the color of blood, no matter how ugly that color is, you can still get away with quite a lot of shit. But yeah, no, this was just fucking crazy. Like, and so then it skips to our characters, and they're all with Bokomon and Clockmon and Monitormon. I like Monitormon. He's cute. I'm glad he's a carryover from Cross Wars. But yeah, so they're hanging out with these guys, and Monitormon shows them clips, and we find out that this has just been a problem going on, that there's just a Digimon going and just, like, killing Digimon for no reason. Now, granted, we've seen several Digimon do bad things to humans for no reason, but that's not the focus. We're just not going to think about that. Let's not think about any of the implications of other episodes in this season of Digimon where the Digimon get away scot-free with shit. We're not thinking about that, damn it. But yeah, no, so the idea is everyone then has to figure out how to deal with it. And what I really like is the whole atmosphere of the episode is different. I wouldn't call this show like a ha-ha, tee-hee, funny type show, but for the most part, there has been like a very fun, goofy atmosphere that is sort of like mixed in with the show's more sort of darker visuals and kind of more gruesome little things going on. But in this episode, you don't really feel that. There's not really a lot of jokes, and what ones there are just kind of like little blink and you miss it gags, like Gammamon biting on the monitor just because he can. It's over and done with. Jellymon, like, sort of joking that she's gonna buy an expensive kimono with her guy's credit card. That's it. That's kind of it. There's really no humor to this episode because everything is just based around being serious and that something very serious is happening. And I like how you see everyone kind of dealing with it. Hero and the other guy are nervous. I really wish they would just call him by his name. They call him by so many different fucking names, I just can't remember it. They're concerned in their way. You see, like, Ruli is trying to buy, like, police-level protection for them. And I like the way Anguramon is just kind of staring at her. Like, just like, this is heavy shit. Like, they are dealing with it the way I think people would. They're scared. They don't really know what to do. And so then you have it that Jellymon is just sort of roaming around, helping a Digimon friend out. Again, just showing bits more of that world building as the Digimon become more of our world. And she's in front of a clothing store, and then you see the red dot hit her head. And my assumption at this point is the rest of the episode is just based around Jellymon, like, trying to run, like, in this sort of, like, what could be a fun cat and mouse game. But no, just immediately, like, the Sealdramon attacks her, and they get her to safety, and then they put Sealsdramon in the digital world, and it's on. It's fighting time. It is time to deal with the threat. And the threat turns out to be this assassin dude who's just trying to get his numbers up. He just kills because that's what he does, and he just wants to get a high kill count. We'll get more to that in a minute. But yeah, so he's doing that, and he's going to kill Gamamon. We see him kill my go-to easy drop rookie, Monodramon, my boy. How could he do this to you? But yeah, no, like, we just see just how evil this fucking Digimon is. There's just something about the idea that all this thing is doing is just killing just because it can. There's no regard for life or anything else. It's just an evil monster. They take any sympathy, they take any feelings of sorry you could have for this thing, any ability to relate or care to this thing is completely removed from the situation. So when you see that red dot be targeted at Gamamon, and you see that knife coming, and you see Bokomon come, it just feels all the more cruel. Like the idea that this guy didn't have a purpose or a goal or an ideology. He's just doing it because everyone is a target and he's going to kill them. It's cruel, it's evil, and it's just like really fucked up. And then just like as he's dying and Gamamon is like holding him. And of course we do the thing where Bokomon has last words. And that is what it is. I'm never really a fan of that. I'd rather just blink someone out of existence. But then Bokomon goes away. And Gamamon just goes shit buck wild. I love the scream. I love the black eyes. I love the way they extenuate his points on his design, like just to make him look sharper, scarier. I love the evil Digivolution. My one gripe is I wish it didn't, I forget what it was called, but I wish it wasn't immediately like kind of like chewing scenery a little bit. Like when it just was like, it's not me, but it is me. I could have done without that, just because I felt like that kind of took the tension away a little bit. Like, just sort of the idea of just, like, a pure blind rage monster. But we've had several pure blind rage monsters in Digimon before, so maybe they were trying to distinguish it in its own way. But then it just grabs Sealsdramon. And this is why I wanted to save off on talking about the kill count thing. The way he's like, so why'd you do this? What's your point? He's like, my kill count. My kill count. Just kind of like, see, all he did was kill. And I kind of like this idea of that is what makes this thing so bad. There's no understanding it. There's no rationalizing it. It's just a horrible thing that happened. And when you just see just like all the emotion just stripped down and turned into anger, it just kind of makes it feel all the more terrifying. Gamamon has turned into this unbeatable monster, and you can't really blame him for what he does next. The way he just executes him, it's really good. I've talked before how I don't necessarily like the fact that every Digimon kind of gets away at the end, only because I don't know what it's building to. And while I do think that they should have made the other conflicts have more of a sense of finality to them, oh my god, to pick now to be your time where a Digimon gets taken out, holy shit, is it effective. Like, the way Gamamon just, like, again, like, perfect poetic justice, straight through the forehead, die, you motherfucker. And he just, like, dies, and I like how, like, this form is too much for Hero to handle. Like, I don't really understand what the point to them just instinctually knowing the attacks is, but the idea that, like, it's too much for Hero and he just gets this, like, bad headache because of it is actually pretty scary. And so then, like, Gamamon has the ability to break through the digital world form, and he's gonna let loose. And then, like, I love how his attack is, like, big, like, blue and black ball of fire. I love how it roars like a demonic monster. That is cool. But yeah, no, and so then it's just like, oh, you gotta die. Because again, like, we're just in this, like, very sad, hateful, miserable situation. You understand, like, it feels earned, like, this level of darkness coming from him. And so then he goes after everyone. He's going to kill them. And, of course, you know what's going to end up happening. Regular Gamamon is able to come through and, like, depower him and go back to normal. But then just, like, the way Gamamon just bursts out into tears. Like, Christ, you just want to start crying along with him. It's so damn good. At that point, I was then wondering, are we doing like they did in Season 3 where the eggs don't where the Digimon don't come back? Are the Digimon going to come back? We then find out they come back, but they don't have the memories. They're not really the same person. So Bokomon is effectively dead. Like, that's what's going on here. And by God, they did such a good job. This is a great episode. I really hope we continue it going forward. And it's really annoying that in the new ending theme, we see Angaramon's evolution when he hasn't actually digivolved yet. That's a little irritating. But yeah, no, tell me your thoughts in this episode below. Oh my God, so fucking good. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week for just God knows what.